Kevin Costner wants to direct four of these films, and he's financing all of them. I gotta give the man props for being ambitious. Horizon is directed by Kevin Costner and stars a very large ensemble with such names as Sienna Miller, Sam Worthington, Giovanni Ribisi, Kevin Costner, Luke Wilson, Thomas Hayden Church, Jamie Campbell Bower, and Jenna Malone. The movie follows the lives of many people in the far west and post-Civil War America. It's a film filled with action, romance, drama, and it is the heart of a Western epic that will cover 12 years of these characters' lives. I was looking forward to watching Horizon just because Kevin Costner financed and directed this movie himself. I like when a director has like a passion for a project and decides to do things himself and not wait for a studio to finance it, kind of like Francis Ford Coppola is doing with Cosmopolis. It's kind of like the same thing here with Kevin Costner, but Kevin Costner is gonna make three more of these films, three more Horizon movies, so it's gonna be like this epic Western series. And I would say right off the bat that I don't think that this movie is terrible, but I just think it's alright. I think that it could have been much better if it had a stronger focus. There are just way too many storylines here. I think that I can count at least 10 storylines, major characters in this movie right off the top of my head, and it's just way too much. It's simply overkill, and it makes it hard to follow as an audience member because not equal attention is given to each storyline. And so sometimes like 20 minutes will go by and then you forget about these characters, what they're doing. And then another 5 minutes with other characters, another 10 minutes there, and it really feels choppily edited. And I think that's the main issue I have with Horizon. I like mostly all the performances in this movie. There are a lot of well-known actors, well-known people here, and I think most of them do a pretty good job in these roles in this film. My favorites are probably Sienna Miller. I connected to her the most and her family and what they went through. Also, I really like Sam Worthington. I think that Sam Worthington can be a good actor when he really has like a meaty role, and I think that here he's really good and he shines. Kevin Costner is great as always. He takes I think about like an hour for him to appear in the film, and he's great here. And once again, he's one of my favorite actors, and it's just a great role for him to play, and I would have liked to have seen more of him. I also liked Luke Wilson, Lapidus from Lost, and Michael Rooker was really good too. There are just so many people, I can't name everyone here, but I think that most of the actors, they do a really good job. I felt like I was in a Western. The movie really had a good production design, the costumes, the sets. I felt like I was in the 1800s, and I really was invested for most of the runtime. I think that Kevin Costner should have limited these storylines so maybe at least a maximum 5 important characters, because it just doesn't work. There's too much, and when you have too much in a movie, like, you end up really not accomplishing a lot, because near the end of the film I was sort of really thinking that wow, not much had happened. Like, there's some stuff that happens throughout this movie, but it didn't feel satisfying at all. Another negative that I have found with Horizon is how the Indian people are portrayed. I felt like they were very one note. I thought that they could have fleshed out their characters way more than they actually did. We get a few scenes with them, which I appreciate, but I don't think that it was enough, and I really would have liked to have more character development on them. And I know there's gonna be 3 more of these. Hopefully, the second one there's gonna be more things that happen, because right now I'm really unsure if there's enough material for 3 more of these things. I'm gonna go see the second one and the third one just because I have this channel, but I'm not really invested right now in these characters. I just don't know if the audiences are as well. There was barely anybody in my theater last night, and I just don't know if Kevin Costner is gonna have a return on his investment. I just don't know, because it's just like this big ambitious project, and I gotta commend him for it. But at the same time, I don't think that the movie is all that well executed. It's not a really good script, and I just wish that it was more entertaining, and maybe it would have been better served as like a mini series. Like every episode is like 1 hour each, and it maybe would have been better to follow than like a 3 hour film, because I did feel the runtime. I thought that there was like large sections of the movie where I felt kind of bored, and I was waiting for the movie to wrap up. But yeah, there are some entertaining scenes in this movie. I like a lot of the action that takes place. There's a lot of suspense. There's some romance. There's some drama here, and I think that the effort put into this project is admirable. It really is. I just don't really like the final product that this film ended up being. I also read that there are a few historical inaccuracies that Kevin Costner made throughout this movie, and I understand that movies are documentaries. This was never meant to be a documentary, so I don't really care per se that there are inaccuracies here, but I just thought that it was interesting, and that a lot of outlets are pointing out that he's made a few mistakes in the timeline. Hopefully the second one is going to be much better, but if they introduce more characters, and if they just make the same mistakes of this movie, and they don't dial it down a bit, like they don't just reduce the number of people that are important to the plot, I think a lot of the audience will tap out. I don't think that these movies are going to connect a lot with people, and that's unfortunate, because I don't want to see Kevin Costner just doing these movies for himself. I hope that people enjoy them, but unfortunately right now I'm just so on this movie. I just think that it's alright. I was entertained for most of it, but I thought that a lot of it dragged as well. So those are my thoughts on Horizon. Let me know what you think about it. If you have seen the film, I'd give this movie like a C+. I think that it's watchable, it's okay. Yeah, and please subscribe. See you next time. Bye.
All I'm trying to do is get as many of us as I can, as far as I can.
I'd just like to have a drink tonight with someone who knows how to act.
You're not taking the full measure of this, Mary. I know the man I met was on his way to kill everyone in that house. He might as well have been walking up to get the mail for all it bothered him.
What you build, they will burn down.
You use that much this year?
Haven't had much need of it yet.
Looks like we got ourselves a bad man right here.